30 female, boyfriend, 28 male. Proposed. Now 6 months before the wedding he says he's not sure. We have been together for 8 years, living together for 4. We own a house and a cat together. We have always been on the same page in terms of wanting to get married, have kids, spend our lives together. We have had our ups and downs but ultimately have been a happy, loving couple who are both willing to put the work into the relationship. His dad, who he was extremely close to, passed away in September 2020. He went into an extreme depression for a year afterwards, and I did all of the work in the relationship, emotional as well as doing stuff around the house, renovating it during COVID. I became convinced he would never come out of his depression and would eventually break up with me. I said that we should either go to couples therapy or he should go to therapy himself, and he refused both. However, he did come out of his depression eventually, and proposed in November 2021. The wedding is booked for March 2023. We have paid deposits, chosen the venue, the food, sent out save the dates etc. We have both been very happy since this, have agreed on a budget for the wedding. I have done most of the planning but let him be as involved as he wanted. Then a month ago he tells me that he is having doubts about getting married. It started off with him saying he felt a lot of pressure, but then he started saying he wasn't sure if we were compatible. The reasons he's given are: 1. We used to have bad arguments about 4 years ago. He would push me and I would end up getting really angry. I have worked on my temper since then and things have been a lot better, which he admits. He said that things have been great for a while, but he's scared that we will have a bad argument at some point in the future and that makes him unsure about getting married. 2. I'm too negative. I asked him for an example of this and he said that I complained about my job once over a month ago. 3. He's worried I will never have a job I'm happy with. I have told him over and over that I'm saving up to do a course for my dream job, and the reasons why I think I will be happy in that job, but it hasn't made any difference. He keeps saying that there haven't been issues recently. His words were, "Things have been great, but he's scared there will be in the future and that what makes him unsure." He recently asked me to postpone the wedding by a year so we can work on us. I told him there was no working on us. I have been happy and he is the one with the issue. He said he needs time to decide if he can accept the negative aspects of me and of our relationship. He said he loves me and wants to be with me, but he needs time to decide if the relationship is good for him and his mental health. I think him asking me to postpone my dream wedding so he can decide if I'm good enough or not is incredibly insulting and humiliating. We have been seeing a therapist since all this happened and she told me she thinks he is gaslighting me about my anger, that my reactions have been normal and that as I don't have anger issues elsewhere in my life she doesn't think I have an anger problem. We also spoke about his female friend who he often talks about our relationship problems with. The therapist said that he was taking energy away from the relationship and creating intimacy problems by talking to this friend about our issues rather than talking to me about them. He said he didn't agree with any of this and still went to see this friend yesterday, and left me at home on my own. My friends and family are all saying that I am not negative and don't have an anger problem, and that he wants to break up but is too cowardly to do it. I can't help but agree with them, but I can't understand how the person who has been so kind, loving and patient for so long could be doing this to me. It feels like a completely different person to the one I thought I knew. He is still adamant that he loves me, doesn't want to break up and wants to work on things. I'm staying at my mom's and won't see him until our therapy session on Monday. I can't picture a future where this relationship recovers, but thought I would post this to get some impartial advice. Thank you to anyone who has read this far. I hate to say this, but there is no point in saving this relationship. He has checked out and is grasping at straws to make excuses to break up. He'll probably date that friend you mentioned. I know 8 years is a long time, but he has changed. You no longer want the same things. It will be hard, but you have to leave him and cut off contact. You will heal in time and find someone else. I am sorry. Breaking up is hard, and it sucks. People do grow apart, and there is nothing you can do to save this. He has one foot out the door already. A friend of mine had a fiancé ask her to wait a year for him to see if she was the one. After like 10 years together. She waited and he still broke up with her and she kicked herself for wasting that year. She is now happily married with 2 babies, so all is well. It sounds like he has checked out. I think a request for time after 8 years is unreasonable. How do I, F25, tell my FWB, M28, SGF, F27, that he's been cheating on her? I'm a Reddit virgin, so please be kind. So it turns out that my F25, FWB, M28 still has a girlfriend, F27 not too sure on her age to be honest. I want to tell her about us but I'm worried my friend group will call me a snitch so I really want to tell her anonymously. I was thinking through Instagram DMs but I'm worried it'll be traced back to me. Any advice on doing this as incognito as possible? Also what should I say in the message? Hey, your boyfriend is a cheater. Seems pretty cruel but I don't know what else to say. Edit. I think FWB was the wrong term to use. We weren't just hooking up in secret. He told me he loved me and would take me on dates and buy me expensive things. We would spend weekends together playing video games and doing lovey-dovey stuff, not just quickies in the bathroom at a party. She lives on the other side of the country, an airplane ride away. Our mutual friend told me that his girlfriend will be moving to our city and that's how I found out they're still together. He told me they had broken up months ago. Also, we have now stopped hooking up. Also sorry if this is the wrong subreddit. This was the best one I could think of. Go to library and use a computer to open a fake account. Send her a message before she uproots her life to make a bad move. If you have the proof you should tell her. She deserves to know and her knowing the truth doesn't make you a snitch. I know for a fact that I'd appreciate it if someone tells me that my partner is cheating, has cheated on me. A person who cheats clearly does not respect their partner enough. Sorry this happened to you and good luck. Fiancé of 6 years red flags? I, am 32, and my fiancé, F25, been together for 6 years. We have 2 boys together, one is 5 and the other is almost 3. Recently my wife started going out with some new friends she met through my sister. Going downtown drinking and coming home at 6 or 7 a.m. I don't really care about her going out and staying out late because I've done with the boys as well. Fair game, right? 3 weeks ago I had a call at 4 a.m. come through my phone and it was a random man that I had no clue who he was so I hung up. Keep in mind my fiancé's phone gets forwarded to my phone if she doesn't answer. No idea why but it's been fixed now. So I put 2 and 2 together and realized what happened so I woke up and called her and asked her what's going on. She told me that her girlfriend's phone died so she asked to call my fiancé phone when he's coming back in the club to find her. I asked her why didn't she give her other friend's phone number? She said all their phones were dead. So I left it at that and she said I know it looks bad but it's nothing big. 2 weeks rolls by and we are at home having some drinks on the weekend and I randomly asked her to look at her phone because she was texting non-stop. She said no to me. That really rubbed me off the wrong way and she assures me nothing is going on and that she's offended that I don't trust her. So now I feel very weird about our relationship. And don't know if she's cheating or she was just maybe hiding texts that she didn't want me to see because I would get mad. Maybe entertaining guys she shouldn't be. I dunno. I'm really turned off about this and thinking about moving out now. I know it's harsh but I feel very weird. Thoughts? All of her friends' phones died? All of them? All? My guy. I'm so sorry. Respectfully, I do not know the details of your relationship but she was 20 when she had the first child. She never got to go out and have fun, that's what she's doing now. Also probably cheating but she was much too young to be getting into a relationship with someone at a different place in life that she was. RIP. Sorry dude. She is cheating. Read your own post like you are a stranger taking a shit before bed. Why is she still your fiancé after 6 years and 2 kids? When most people were figuring themselves out she became a mother and figuring herself out probably took a backseat. But not anymore. So be prepared. She's trying to figure herself out now, and it may mean something completely different than what you may want. This is just one of the problems inherent in dating someone barely out of high school when you're way past that stage. Actions meet consequences. Partner puts up cameras and I'm not completely okay with the idea. My partner, 35 male, over the course of our relationship has tried to put up cameras in the house on a few different occasions. Personally, I don't really like them. I, 33 female, work from home and don't want to be watched, which he will sometimes do. I know this because there's a talking option and sometimes he will say something to me, through the camera, randomly throughout the day. I don't like that lol. The camera setup in our living room started when we went out of town over the weekend. My dad was over for a day to bring our baby to daycare and watch over our older boys before they left for the day, evening. He was obsessed, watching the camera so much. Literally just watching my dad and the kids walk around hanging out. It was really weird. I didn't like that and I thought it was invading my dad's privacy who was doing something nice for us. We wouldn't have been able to go away otherwise. He tried to make an excuse that our neighbor told us someone tried to break in his house a few months ago, which did happen. We are in an area of new builds, so I thought they just assumed no one lived there, or who knows. Now that we are back, the camera is still up. I unplugged it this morning and went back to the kitchen to see it plugged in again. He knows I don't like it. He had one in our room a few months ago and I told him to stop trying to put them up. Of course, I have nothing to hide, I just don't like the idea. Also want to add that he won't let me have the app to the camera. He told me only one user is allowed, which I think is BS. I'd like to update that he actually confronted me about unplugging it, so he must have tried to go on unnoticed. I said a lot of points here that I read. I'm an adult, I don't want it, I am allowed privacy, etc. He asked me multiple times if I had something to hide, which I think is ridiculous, and then basically said that I don't know how to communicate, and I should have asked him about his camera. I'm so surprised by this. The convo then turned to him acting crazy as hell on text and saying stuff like he's sick of this shit, our relationship? We don't get along, blah blah. I'm like, wow. I said I'm not okay with having a camera watching me, and it turns to this. I basically said I'm not engaging any further and I am now questioning everything. He told me he was thinking of coming home late tonight. Said if I don't care then he won't either. Obviously now that he can't win the control, he's acting out. It's so childish. Maybe I don't care anymore. I have too much going on to deal with this bullshit. I wouldn't be okay with being under surveillance in my own home. Either in cameras inside a home is something every adult who lives there should be in agreement about. Also want to add that he won't let me have the app to the camera. He told me only one user is allowed, which I think is BS. This right here is absolutely bullshit. No system allows only one user unless the person who set it up that way. He's choosing to exclude you. Which makes me wonder how many cameras you don't know about. That is extremely creepy, watching his Phil and children through a camera when they didn't know they were being recorded. And now him watching you throughout the day. This is a huge invasion of privacy. I'm petty sometimes. I would put a piece of electrical tape or something over the camera if he refuses to take it down. But if he really refuses to take them down, I would take them down anyways and throw them away.